Hello everyone, it's me again, Rafał Majtek-Szypanek, and today I'm here with some interesting personas from StarHeroes, and I'm going to be asking some really crucial questions before the start of Season 2. We have a big esports league coming in, we have a new token that's probably been announced already, and I have some questions regarding this matter as well, because it will be distributed towards you as a rewards for playing and achieving great success in StarHeroes Season 2. So, let's get it started.
Yeah, let's start.
Let's start with some tough questions just to warm ourselves up. Professor Farmer, I would love to ask, how do you measure the success of StarHeroes game? Because the early alpha was released like 2 years ago, I believe, and it was a huge process of development, many online tournaments, some offline tournaments in Poznań and Warsaw as well. Right now, we are on the step, one step from coming into the Season 2. Do you measure it as a success or just a hard work before launching a rocket in Season 2?
Yeah, I think we have achieved a kind of success, and I'm happy what we have achieved so far. At the same time, I still think this is just the beginning, that we are gradually just realizing that all of what we have achieved so far is going according to the plan. And I'm happy that we are going in the right direction. So what I would like to underline here is that primarily, as you have mentioned, we have spread the development process for the time of for the period of 2 years. And during that time, we have managed to acquire a lot of players, and these players were happy with what they have got for playing the game. So I cannot say that was I can fully say that that was something what we have achieved in the right way. But what is very important about StarHeroes so far is that till this day, our token has managed. We have managed to buy back a lot of tokens thanks to the revenue that the game has generated. So that's over 200k thousand of dollars, which were used for the buyback of the token. This is a unique approach in the Web3 gaming space, because I believe that there are a lot of games, there are a lot of Web3 gaming tokens, but they don't really capture the value provided by the game. So it doesn't matter whether the game is super successful, whether it has players, whether there are a lot of activities around that game, there are a lot of events. It doesn't matter for the token, because they don't transfer this value to the token. So this is one of the main differentiating points in StarHeroes, that we try to transfer this value, and we are doing this on an ongoing basis. So this Season 1 has provided a lot of revenue to the game, and so far 200k of dollars were used for the buyback. But there were also other fields where this revenue was used for. So, for example, StarHeroes has also a hero duty app, which requires from the user to spend tokens in order to progress in the game, progress in the leaderboard, and send so-called heroes on missions. So a lot of players have were basically dealing with this with that module of the game. So thanks to this, we have also managed to capture another 2.7 million of tokens, which were burned in this module. So you can see that StarHeroes keeps basically it's like the game itself relies heavily on the token, and the token has utility. At the same time, basically the revenue is fully shared also with the game through buybacks, through incentives for the stakers. And this is what is going, I believe, in the very right Web3 gaming direction.
I do believe that I understand this process very well, not only as a part of the team, but as a player as well. I've been attending to the duty. I've been playing on the leaderboard. I was wishing to get top position for a nice airdrop, but I had to leave this game at some point. And then many other players just, overcome me when it came to leaderboard. So I understand the process of kind of healing the tokenomics. I do believe that many people really appreciate the transparency behind burning the tokens and using the revenue to try and improve the position of its token. But on the other hand, other people are not so happy and they are expecting you to magically pump this comp once again to the peak that it has achieved. Do you believe there is a possibility to reach so in Season 2, or do you have other solutions to incentivize people by playing?
Yeah, so obviously, we want to learn on mistakes, and as the season first has concluded, we have gathered a lot of feedback from players who are pointing out some kind of inefficiencies in the game, some kind of things which could be improved. And this is what we value very much, the ongoing feedback coming from our players, our users, because this is also a way of decentralizing the game, where basically you involve players into the process of also development of a game, of designing the leaderboard, designing the meta of the game. So this is basically what we do at StarHeroes, and this is another aspect of the Web3 gaming thing that StarHeroes is very good at. This decentralization, I would say, of the process. So we have gathered the feedback. We know what to do better in the season 2. And what is very important here, that basically there are a couple of changes in this matter. So first is, some people were a little bit complaining that basically even though they stake the token, they don't see that much value in staking of the token, because of course they get some staking rewards, they get some StarForce points, but at the same time it doesn't matter that much on their point earnings in the game. So right now we have decided to do better, to actually enable players also to stake their tokens and get some additional boost for that in the game. So basically, based on that, how many tokens you stake, you will be able to get an additional boost in the leaderboard while playing the game. So this is a very important, I believe, change. Another one is, some people also have pointed out that of course they have some heroes, they keep leveling them up, but for them it doesn't matter that much whether they have one hero or 100 hero.
Yeah, because you're using basically one hero in the game.
Yeah. So we have also come across this problem and decided to also increase this threshold. So basically, right now, if you have multiple heroes, you will get also a higher boost for that. So this is also very important. More utility for the heroes, more value capturing mechanism for them, and more impact on the leaderboard. Yeah, this is also important change for the leaderboard. Another important change, and this is something subject to the, I believe, current governance proposal, which is going to be presented to community, is to decide whether community wants to different aspects of the game. So we have game, space shooter, we have Hero Duty app, as I mentioned, which is more like web application, where you can level heroes. And also we have this social aspect of basically inviting your friends into the game and referring and basically based on the social activity of the player, you get some additional points to the leaderboard. So this is especially relevant for people who have some more, following, who have some gaming communities around them. They can basically capitalize on that in the leaderboard. So the important fact right now and factor basically is to decide how we want to balance these different aspects of the game, these different modules. So community will have a say and decide whether basically they want to equally treat, let's say, game, space shooter and hero duty app, or they can give some advantage to specifically players in the game and a little bit maybe less to hero duty app players. So this is something which is also a part of this previously mentioned decentralization of the game, but basically stakers can decide how the game is balanced. And this is also something, because it doesn't matter that the team itself doesn't know what to do, but it is also important to give some responsibility to community, to the players, to the people who will be ultimately participating in the leaderboard, and make them decide. Because, as some people, as some famous person has said, there is no better system than democracy, and no one has ever invented anything better. So maybe this sort of crypto Web3 democracy in this way will work in the best way.
You probably mean like this the whole voting that just happened recently about the burn and stuff like that. So you plan to include more and more votings, more and more voices when it comes to developing the game. I really love this idea because, in my opinion, even though developers and quality assurance and the team and the board are playing the game, they are probably not better than the best pilots we had in the leaderboard, and we know them for a fact that they are extremely good at this game. And usually, esports studios and esports games are listening to the pro player's voice because they are playing the game. They know this game 100%, every bug, every exploit, every tactic, meta or not meta. So it's really, really good to listen to them. Did you listen to them when it came to airdrops? Because we've seen this airdrop, I do believe it was right after the beta, where many players were so happy getting a lot of tokens that they could further either stake to improve the season 1 score, or they could exchange for some different currency and be happy with it. After season 1, there were some rumors that not so many people were happy about the incentive, about the airdrop. They were mostly happy about the game, but they wanted something extra. How did you address this issue in season 2?
Yeah, so this is another important factor to and thing that we wanted to address in StarHeroes, especially in the season 2, is the problem of, let's say, a sort of volatility of the incentive.
Yeah.
So, when you provide an incentive like a volatile, especially small cap token, which has already achieved a lot of, access on the launch, it's a very hard, task to actually provide this reward in a sustainable manner, which ensures players that their price pool that they are competing for is fair, and the amount of time and resources they put into the game will pay them off. So this is the task. This is basically that challenge which we had to address, and I believe that we are doing now this in a better way, because in the first season, as you probably all of you guys know, the main reward was the star token. And during the first months of the token performance, it started to gradually, or maybe not even gradually, decrease the price of it. And right now, we have decided to switch completely this model. Right now, we want to focus on providing as much value as possible to the star token, while at the same time not necessarily providing rewards in this token.
So a new token, you mean?
New token, exactly. Probably you are wondering which one.
Is it going to be Ethereum, Bitcoin, something like that?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably a lot of our community members know that we have a huge stake of 410 Ethereum tokens in our tournament treasury. And this is what we still have, I can assure you guys, and what is under management of our DAO investment committee. And what is quite important about this is that basically we want to use this prize pool in subsequent tournaments, esport leagues, and something which will especially focus on providing competitiveness of the game and acquiring new, especially Web2 based players into the game. So this is basically budget for that, I would say. At the same time, season 2 is a little bit more focused around, crypto users, Web3 users who are interested in earning tokens. And this is something which provides basic. We want to provide a new token for that season 2.
And we know for sure that there will be a leaderboard, a skill board for those who don't own any NFTs or don't stake any tokens, but still can fight for high places on the leaderboard. But the esports aspect of the game, we had many tournaments in the past. I was hosting and casting pretty much all of them, I do believe, and I want to continue to do so. What are the plans for season 2? Are we expecting like a big tournament? Because you have mentioned, we do have the money under the DAO, security and ICE, and I wanna see how do you guys plan on using this or maybe other monies and resources to establish an esports scene for StarHeroes.
Yeah, so yeah, you can stay basically patient. I believe that you will save your job. No worries. We have funds. We have plans. We're not taking anything anywhere. We're here to stay.
You heard this, gamers. We're here to stay.
Yeah. So the plan with esports competitiveness of the game is just starting to roll out. Basically, we're starting with the esports league, and this is like a sort of you can compare it basically to, I don't know, football league, where there are different divisions, different tiers of the league, and basically based on the skill probably of these players, of the teams, they will be able to achieve higher places in respective divisions, and maybe advance higher, right? And this league will be primarily, I would say, online. Yep. We want to start online because it's easier basically to gather players in one place, online tournament. And gradually, once the tournament, the league is closer to conclusion, after this, we will have also playoffs, right? And finally of these playoffs will be held offline. This is very important. So basically, gradually we will try to organize more and more events where players not only meet online and, I don't know, shit talk on Discord or something like that, we'll be also able to, meet offline in one place, in some kind of, let's say, maybe stadium or not, and maybe fight also against each other. We'll see. But
so the octagon is included in this deal.
I know that there are a lot of emotions around.
Yeah, they are.
Around competitiveness, around playing esports titles. We have a lot of especially male-based community, some kind of alpha males, and they want to basically prove to others who is the best. So there are different ways of proving yourself, right?
Yeah, you can do so in the game, but if you fail in that, then you can always put your gloves in and just go.
Yeah. So there are different options for that. I believe, so the league itself will start soon. I believe next month it's the time. Basically, even this month, I would say November is the time for this league to gradually start to roll out for the first matches to take place. And once we will have a full clarity, like how many teams will ultimately participate in this and how many divisions organized for them, we will also announce the prize pool for that. So basically, for playing in the league, your team is able to get a nice money for that, And I think this is also some kind of market opportunity for some players, because let's be honest, there are games like, I don't know, Counter-Strike or League of Legends who are extremely competitive, who have a lot of players, and it's not easy to climb to the top in such games.
It's super tough to get to an esports team.
Yeah, so to be in the esports team, to compete for some prize pools, it's to basically try to get a salary from the game, it's very hard. And in StarHeroes, I believe it'd be easier because it's a new game. It's a sort of niche for some players, but it's still extremely competitive. So you can easily prove who is the best. And for proving, you will be able to get a nice reward, which is less competitive when it comes to amount of competing players than in such titles as Counter-Strike or League of Legends, right? So I think it's a market opportunity,
Exactly. It is an opportunity for new players. Me, as an esports person working in esports, especially in League of Legends for 5 or 6 years now, I usually see many people grinding hours and hours and hours to get to master tier or challenger and not even being picked up by a team. Or maybe some low, second tier ERL in Italy and getting 1,000 euros per month or per split, and it's like the peak of their achievements because it's so competitive, because it has hundreds of thousands of players. In StarHeroes, we do not have it yet, so it's easier to get on board, it's easier to know the game, because Season 2, if I recall correctly, has many changes, so even the best players from Season 1 might need to learn the game, maybe not from the scratch, but might need to learn some new schemes, new tactics, with the ping system coming in, with the item system coming in. There is a lot of stuff to learn, and everybody will have equal opportunities. At the day of the start of the Season 2, everybody will start grinding and at the same time looking for a team, because as you mentioned, it might be the biggest opportunity in StarHeroes to not, wish yourself for a huge juicy airdrop, but actually to work your way through to get a share of the prize pool.
Yeah, so I think the Season 2 is the perfect time to start basically your adventure in StarHeroes, because you not necessarily have to invest a lot of money to compete, and you can still get a reward. Because this is something which I haven't mentioned so far, but in StarHeroes in the Season 1, the rewards were only provided for the main basically leaderboard. There are also some additional rewards for social fight campaign, but in general, the huge chunk of these rewards were mainly reserved for the main leaderboard. So that was highly competitive, I would say, and at the same time, for some players, it required from them, to spend some nice amounts of money for that. So in the Season 2, you don't have to do it. Of course, we would be happy if you could provide some additional revenue for our decentralized treasury. That's fine for us. But at the same time, you can just play the game, and by winning the game, you get some tokens, So we call it win to airdrop, basically. Win the game to get some airdrop, And we want to make it in this way because, some players might, complain that, I have to win the game to
get good at it.
There are some games where you don't have to win anything and you still get an airdrop, right? But no, in StarHeroes, we want to, stay fully, committed to our, competitiveness of the game, to the mechanics of the game, to make people, fully take care of the whole, gameplay process, and at the same time they can get some rewards for that. So it's very fine. They can compete in the main leaderboard. It's highly competitive, but they can still compete in the skill leaderboard, which is fully based on their esports skills, their mastery rank, etc. And even if they are pretty bad, they can still win a couple of games and still get some tokens. So they don't have to be even in top of any of the leaderboards. They can still get some tokens. Just win the game. Just try to win. Maybe make some friends, get some, team, and then you will get more tokens. Because, it's harder to compete when you are alone, right?
Yeah, it is. I've been struggling to do so, being matched against Pan Pilot and Gravity Revolt and Peggy all the time and getting my ass whooped, basically. So if I understand correctly, let me just assure myself on this one thing. By playing the game, by winning games, you already are able to earn some tokens in the future. Just by winning. By competing in the leaderboard and getting top position, as well, you're getting some kind of incentive via airdrop.
Yeah, exactly.
By participating in the skill leaderboard, which is basically the same, win many games and get higher rank, you can get some incentives too. And on top of that, you can sign up to the esports league. And if you are really good, if you already have a team and you are smurfing in the leaderboard, you can actually compete against other teams for even bigger prize.
Exactly.
I have counted 4 ways to
whatever
earn
you
something.
Whatever you do in StarHeroes, you basically can get some tokens for that. You can get some reward for that. Isn't it nice?
It is. I'm not even asking, how many tokens, because I can just calculate myself whether I want to invest in some NFTs or stake the Star token, or I just want to, play 4 games a day every day and just cap myself on the leaderboard position, the skill leaderboard position. That sounds great for the gamers. And do you believe it's the main approach, as you mentioned before, it's the main approach to the Web3 gamers? Because we still want to attract more and more Web3 gamers, people that will, get hooked up to the project, maybe, donate to our treasury, maybe buy a token, maybe buy an NFT. What about the Web2 players? Recently, we had this great exhibition at Poznan Game Arena, a couple of weeks ago. I was here hosting and I saw dozens, if not, tens of dozens of people around this booth. Little children with their mamas, trying to get them off this game, or people at probably my age finding this game rather interesting, because we have nothing like this in a traditional esports scene. So do you plan to approach Web2 gamers right away in season 2, or do you have other plans, other campaigns for the future?
Yeah, I believe our strategy for Web 2 is still gradually, I would say, evolving. But yeah, I think season 2 is a great start for them to actually, it's a great time for them to also start participating, start playing the game, because you don't have to have this, claim any tokens, do some blockchain transactions to actually gather these tokens on your account. So basically, you can just win the game. You don't have to necessarily buy some premium items to win the game, because the game itself is fair and balanced. And
it's free to play.
And it's free to play. So you don't have to spend any money, and yet you can get some rewards for that. So I think it's a great time to actually start playing the game. And gradually, we will start, with the esports league. This is also an opportunity for you to join. And another thing is that StarHeroes will be also launching on Epic Game Store. So this is very important, that basically you will be able also to download to StarHeroes also using this mainly, widely accepted launcher. And I believe it will bring a lot of new players into the game, because right now, StarHeroes, let's say, was in an early access, very, very early access. And right now we are rolling out the new iterations of the game, and it's maturing itself. So it's ready also for Web2 players who are let's be honest, they know a lot of titles. We have to compete with many more titles in the Web2 space. So we didn't want to, step necessarily right away with too early version for Web2 players, because we have already seen a lot of games from the Web3 space who have started on Epic Game Store or even on Steam. And it turned out that the Web2 players were not happy with the versions they have received. They started to fat these games. They started to provide negative feedbacks for the games, negative reviews. And these games were basically, when you start very poorly, then it's hard to recover, So some of these games are already, I would say, closed because they have received so bad reviews, and it's hard for them to basically recover from this collapse, I would say.
And to be honest with you, I believe that's a great approach that you are right now explaining, that try to create a product that is complete, that is ready, that everybody can play, that is working, that has little bugs, because every game has bugs, but it is done. Then, release a game because it's a, nice market condition, and let's just go with it and straight to Web2 players. No, Web2 players are picky. Web2 players have I don't know, hundreds of games to choose from. So why the hell do we want to choose a game that doesn't look that nice? The mechanics are not something I wish they were. I'm just not going to pick it. I'm going to take Counter-Strike and League of Legends, Apex, I don't know, Valorant, and many, many other titles. I do believe that StarHeroes is in the time to start advertising to Web2 players. And as you have just explained, there are many, many ways to get into the game for free. Try to get some intensive and prizes for yourselves. And actually, this game looks pretty. You have to try this out.